that's not really writing. That sounds much too pleasant.
Okay, that's not really writing. Okay, well, here's the thing. How many of you have gone into a store and bought writing? How many of you have gone into a store and bought a story?
Yeah.
Okay, how do you get a story? We're storytellers.
Not story typists.
Exactly.
That's just one.
Yeah.
And it's not even the most, it's not the way it's always been done, and it may not be the most effective.
Right. Think about the times, before Gutenberg was doing the printing press and all that stuff. All the stories were done sitting around a fire.
Yeah. Dickens and his quill pens.
Or even before that, think about it. That's how you shared stories, was around a fire.
All right, let's get into the sort of techno nitty-gritty.
Okay.
What kind of device do you use to dictate into? I know you mentioned that you can use the microphone built into your computer, but there are probably more efficient ways. Plus, what if you want to go walk through the forest or whatever?
It's called a Sony dictaphone is the one I love. It's like $47 on Amazon.
Sweet.
And Prime, makes it really easy. Not that I'm, but you can get it anywhere.
Probably 3/4 of the people listening to this are probably Amazon Prime members.
But you can really get it anywhere. But it's like $47. And what I love about it is it has a slide-out USB connected to it.
Right.
So I can record actually several hours on it. Mm-hmm. So if I'm in my car traveling, wherever I'm going, I can just talk out my story. If I'm like burnt out on a story, I will start a new file on it and then talk about ideas of other stories I have.
And then once you've done that, you use the USB port to plug it into
my
the computer. And then what happens on the computer? Does that open up a program?
Yes. What you can do is, depending on what program you have on your computer, there's different apps you can download, but it needs to be you need to have some sort of transcription program.
Right.
If you have just a regular dictation program, like the free one on your computer, it actually has to listen to what you've said and it types it up for you. So you just let it go, leave it, and go do other things. If you have a transcription program, then what it will do is it takes about 3-4 minutes and it automatically just moves it over in a file and types it up for you.
Wow.
So kind of like, when you get a voicemail and then you just look and it's already typed up, that's kind of like what it does.
What do you think is the best transcription software?
I use Dragon.
Is there a particular, is that Naturally Speaking or
well, they're
something
all
like that?
kind of the same thing. There's anymore. There's different versions. I use the Professional for the Mac. It's called V6. There's Dragon, 15 or something for the PC users, but it's always called the Professional.
Which automatically means it's going to be more expensive, right?
Yeah, it's like, I'll be honest, it's like $300, but right now there's 50% off. It's like $150. But I would always wait because they always have coupons. I'll be honest, they always have them.
That seems sensible. And have you found that increases your productivity?
It does. It is a better, their voice recognition software is a little bit more enhanced. And so I have found, because the way it works, it actually learns your
voice.
It learns your voice. And all y'all have accents. I don't, just so you know. I have no Southern accent at all.
Okay.
But yeah, I know, I keep telling myself that. And so it learns my little idiosyncrasies of how I talk. I always have bracelets on. It has learned that's my typical background noise. And so how I got it was when I started it and just using it as dictation and learning my voice, I picked up my own books and I would read my own books to it. So it learned some of my words, learned how I did things.
Have you detected any difference in the quality of your books since you've started dictating?
I've dictated from the beginning.
Oh, okay. So no.
I will tell you, I've always had people tell me from the very beginning that I was one of those authors who found my voice. That's that magical unicorn we're all searching for, is how to find your voice. And they're like, how did you find your voice so early as an author? And because everybody, we're told it takes 5 years, 10 years to break into this business. I was in this business for 7 months and landed one of the top agents in a multi-book contract with Simin Schuster. 7 months, okay? And it was because I had this authentic voice. And when I was asked, how did I find it? It dawned on me, well, what is voice? Mm-hmm. It's not something you can type. Voice is something you speak.
That makes a lot of sense. I just want to tell, I know you've done children's books, but you've also started the Iron Orchids series. Tell me just a little bit about that.
Iron Orchids is a group of women who, after watching Sons of Anarchy, they wanted to feel tough and kind of like, without actually being mean. And so they still love their spa and their Louboutins and have funny attitudes. And so, but they just decided they wanted to be strong women because they're very outspoken and they're just typical, moms. And they started an all ladies MC. And it's called the Iron Orchids.
And these are romance novels?
They are romance novels.
Fantastic.
It's an entire series. But yeah, I've only been writing romance since November of 2017. And because of dictation, my 7th book is getting ready to come out.
Holy smokes. That's phenomenal. You've given us all a lot to think about.
Thank you.
Danielle, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I hope that interview gave you all something to think about. Even if you're not convinced yet that you want to make dictation your go-to approach to a first draft, could you maybe incorporate it on situations where you're someplace you can't type, or you don't have your laptop, or you just don't have time to type out a complete chapter, or even, some afternoons when you just want to push away from the desk and get up and walk around for a while? Maybe dictation could make that possible. I also want to mention again my Patreon page. I use Patreon as a means of mentoring and working with other writers who want to ask questions or get some editorial feedback, critique, or want a writer coach to check in with periodically. That's what I do on Patreon. I do a lot of reading and getting back to people on their work, and I'm instituting a new calendar program by which people can sign up, and we meet once a week or however often you want to talk 15 minutes or 30 minutes by phone or by Skype and get the feedback you need to keep your book rolling, to get it into the shape it needs to be to get published. So if that would interest you at all, please visit my Patreon page. That's patreon.com, patreon.com/Wilbern, WILLBERN, first 4 letters of both of my names. I also mentioned WriterCon during this. WriterCon is the annual writers conference I host in Oklahoma City over Labor Day weekend. You can find out all about that at writercon.org. And, of course, my new book is called The Last Chance Lawyer. Seems to be doing well, but anything you can do to help spread the word about this new book, the first in a new legal thriller series, I would greatly appreciate. Until next time, keep writing. And remember, you cannot fail if you refuse to quit.